So you pull your credit and there's a collection account. No worries. We're going to tell you how to pay off that collection account the right way so you can buy your first home. Welcome to the Homeowner Prep podcast, where every week we educate and encourage aspiring homeowners to help them buy their first home faster. If you aspire to own a home, you're in the right place, so enjoy. Do us a favor and leave a review, a rating, and be sure to subscribe. Now let's get to this week's episode. Hey, real quick before we start, I want to ask you a question. How long are you going to wait before you decide to get started? I mean, you want to buy a house and you're earning income, so what's holding you back? Visit our website at HomeownerPrep.com/start. You can take an online assessment and set up a free 30-minute call, and we're going to put a plan together to help you get from where you are to where you truly want to be. So don't let fear hold you back from buying your first home. All right, now back to the episode. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Homeowner Prep podcast. I'm so excited that you're here. Today we're actually going to be talking about paying off a collection account the right way. Now, if you pull your credit, you can do so on an annual basis for free. And what we recommend is that you actually take a look at what's showing up on your credit report. But not only that, you need to see what your credit scores are. And as you go through this process, especially as we sit down with families and individuals to help them through this process, we often will see a collection account pop up that the client had no idea about. And this happens quite often. You know, they said over 30% of Americans actually have something on their report that is not accurate. And so it's important that you look at your credit report and you look at your scores often. And that's one of the main reasons why we partner with MyFICO as an affiliate, because we want to make sure that our clients are keeping an eye on things. And so if you haven't pulled your credit report and you haven't seen your scores lately, I definitely recommend that you start there. But what happens when you pull your credit and you do see a collection account on your credit report? Well, first of all, it's not the end of the world. I do want to encourage you with that. Paying off a collection account is a process, but it can be done, and it doesn't necessarily have to keep you from buying a home. It may slow things down a little bit, and I'll go into that, but it's not going to hold you back. So if you really want to get there and you have a strong why as to why you want to buy your first home, you'll still be able to get there. So once you see the report, what's the first step for you? The first step when you see a collection account pop up on your credit report is to reach out to the collection company. I know you don't want to talk to them. I know, if it is truly yours, you don't want to deal with them and have to pay something. But the faster you take care of the issue, the faster you'll get into a home. And so we do want you to reach out to them and ask questions. Ask, when did they take on the debt? Who did they get the debt from? Get accurate dates. Make sure they have your name accurate. And so making sure that, what you're seeing on your report is truly yours and verifying this information. That's step number one, because oftentimes the number, the amount could change. If they're adding on all these fees and things of that nature, you may be able to negotiate that and get those fees knocked down. And so you just want to ask these questions to get a true understanding of what that debt is, where it came from, and how it popped up on your credit report. You can have as little as, a $20 medical bill pop up in collections on your credit, and it have an impact to your score. So we definitely want to address it as soon as possible. And that leads into number two. Number two is the fact that collection accounts do have a big impact on your credit score and your ability to qualify for a home loan. So we do want to take it serious. Now, obviously a foreclosure or a bankruptcy, these are really, these are judgments. So they kind of take precedence as importance to a collection account. But second to those, it would be a collection account. And so that's why you want to address it as quickly as you can. One, to verify, and two, to pay it off, because you want to get it off your report as paid in full as soon as possible. And so number three is actually when you're having that conversation with the collection company, you want to ask them if they will report it as paid in full upon payment received. This is important. We don't want it to say settled. If it's settled, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing. And when a lender pulls up your credit report and they see that a debt was settled, It's going to be very different than seeing that a debt was paid in full. So ideally, we would like the creditor to list it as paid in full on your credit report. That way it doesn't come up as a red flag to any lenders when you do get qualified to buy your first home. So how do we do that? When you talk to the collection account, you're going to say, hey, I want to pay off this debt. I want to get it off my report. And I want it to report as paid in full. Will you do that? If they say yes, we need verification in writing saying that they will do that. Do not send money to pay off a collection without some type of verification saying that they will update your report and list it as paid in full. Now, if they refuse to do it paid in full, obviously you're going to have to work that out, and that would be something that you would talk to your homeowner prep coach about and how we can work on that. But ideally, if they say that they will mark it as paid in full, get it in writing, whether that's email, if they have to mail something to you, if they have to send you a fax. Yes, they still do fax. We just had a client who was receiving a letter from the creditor and they're saying, well, we can fax it to you. So everybody's scrambling. Who has a fax machine? Like what year is this? But they still will fax information as well. But ideally, you want some type of verification saying that they will do the things they said they would do before you send payment. The issue is we often see that people will send payment to pay off a collection and it doesn't get updated on their credit report. Now you got to go through the credit bureaus and dispute. And that takes a lot longer. It's a lot longer process to go through a dispute because when you qualify for a home, you can't have any active disputes going on. So again, if we can get it in writing before you send the payment, that is going to be best. We want to get that as saying that they will do what they said they're going to do. Once you get that, then go ahead and send payment. Send it in some form to where you can have verification. If you're writing a check, I know most people don't write checks anymore, but if you are writing a check, take a copy of it, take a photo of it, put it in the scanner, copy it, whatever you have to do to verify that you wrote this check on this date and you're sending it off, because timelines are very important. The credit bureaus are very strict about, things that have to get done in certain time frames. And so if you send payment and you're waiting for them to update your credit report, and now it's 45 days and 60 days and 90 days, the credit bureaus can now step in and take action. But if you don't have any verification of the date that you actually sent it, proof of the payment, things of that nature, it's going to be very hard for you to prove that down the road. So do yourself a favor, take a photo or a scanned copy of the payment that you're sending in. If you're sending it through, debit card or credit card or anything like that, print out a statement, print out, as you go through their process, print out the confirmation, do the things that you need to do up front and just keep them on file in case you need them. Hopefully you don't, but if you do it the right way, get a copy of it. So you've contacted the creditor. They've agreed to mark it as paid in full upon receipt. They sent you verification saying that. You've now sent in your payment. Now you're just waiting for them to update your credit report. If you were in the home buying process and that was the last step that you needed, you already have the credit, you've already either you have money set aside in savings or you're already qualified for a down payment assistance program and we're just waiting on this update, oftentimes your lender can do what's called a rapid rescore. With a rapid rescore, they're going to be able to do a refresh on your credit report and see updates sooner than waiting another 30 days. So your lender does have access to a rapid rescore and they can see that you've paid off a collection sooner than what you could see on your own. So again, if that was the last thing holding you back, I would definitely suggest that you go ahead and move forward with the process, talk to a lender, give them the proof that everything was paid, and let them do a rapid rescore so that they can see that your score has definitely changed. So that will have a great impact on your credit. Again, collections can hold you back, but it's not a stop, it's a wait. If that makes sense. There are ways to get through it. If you're in our coaching program, we're going to help you through that. If you're talking with a lender, they can do the rapid rescore. So there's ways to get over it quicker. But the main thing is that you address it and that you know that it exists in the first place. The longer it sits there, the worse it's going to do to your credit. So we definitely want to make sure you're looking at your report, pull your scores, and do the things that you need to do to know exactly what's showing up on that report. Because that is your report card as an adult, unfortunately, especially when you're trying to purchase a home. So, take a look at that. If you have any questions, if you're thinking about, hey, I want to get started in the process of, looking at my credit and buying a house, just don't know where to get started, Visit our website at homeownerprep.com/start. No matter where you're at, whether you're not ready yet, you're getting ready, or you're already ready to go and you just need a referral to an agent or a lender, you can find that help there on our website, again, at homeownerprep.com/start. If you just have a quick question that you need answered, you can always reach out to us on our social media channels. We often get questions on our Instagram channel at HomeownerPrep. So you can definitely reach us on any of the social media platforms as well. I hope you got some value from today's episode. Hopefully you have a clear understanding of how to handle a collection the right way. And I look forward to providing you with some more great content on next week's episode. Until then, be blessed. If you've enjoyed this show and got some great value from it, please be sure to rate and review. And if you're checking it out on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe. That really does help us to continue the show and bring in some great guests to help you on your home buying journey.